Good morning, children. In chemistry class, we are moving to the next new chapter, chapter number 4, metals and non-metals. So, I have already gave an introduction regarding what is metal and non-metal in your refreshing class. I have shared that link also to you. If you first watch that and then come back to this class means you would have a continuity and you would understand it better. Because starting from the atoms, molecule, element, compound and how come metals are formed, what are non-metals, everything are discussed in that video. The basics are in that video. Okay. So, we would have come across a word called mining in our last year. So, what is mining? Mining is nothing but digging holes on the surface of the earth to reach the underground layers. So, why do we want to reach the underground layers of the earth? What is present underground? We have hard rock bodies, right? So what the rocks present in the underground will have the elements. The elements like metals and non-metals are present in the rock bodies and we extract them for our purpose. So the process of digging holes in the underground to extract the metals from the rock bodies is called mining. So these metals and non-metals are naturally occurring substances. It is not prepared by human beings. This is all given to us by the nature. They are all present underground and it is formed over millions of years after the origin of earth, right? So from those rock bodies 92 elements are found until today. So first, what is an element? An element is a group of same kind of atoms. Okay, so atoms means which cannot be divided anymore, that is the smallest unit. If I take any element like oxygen, it is made up of oxygen atoms. Okay, so if there is only one group of atoms present, then I call it as element. If there are group of two or more atoms, okay, oxygen atom and carbon atom are combined together means then that is not going to be your element. So element means it is a group of atoms of same kind. Out of such 92, 70 are metals and 22 are non-metals. And in these there are an intermediate called metalloids which will show the properties of both metals and non-metals. If you look here, we do not get the metals directly from the rock. The metals are all present in the underground in the form of minerals. Okay, so mineral means a group of elements are giving us the metals. From the elements only we are getting it as metals and non-metals. So if it is a mineral means it will have many metals in it. It will have many elements in it. I am going to extract that mineral and from that I would separate each metals individually. Understood? So the underground layers of the earth having the minerals in them are called as ores. We do not call them as rocks, we call them as ore. Okay, so I would just give you in the form of a flow chart. And the underground layers we have the rocks The rocks will have the minerals. The rocks with the minerals I call by the name ore. Okay, so first we have the ores, and in the ores only we have the minerals. Ores are nothing but minerals. So what is the mineral? Mineral means group of elements. Mineral will have the elements in it. And in the element I have it as metals and non-metals or metalloids. Okay, this is how the flowchart is. The order is, first we have the ore, then in the ore we have the minerals. Minerals means group of elements like this. Okay, elements, we again have it as metals, non-metals and metalloids. Understood? So here I can tell that ore is a mineral. Okay, ore is a mineral because ore is nothing but the name given to the rock with minerals. Okay, but I cannot tell that all the minerals are ore. Understood? And I'm telling you two statements. Clearly listen to it. All the ores are minerals. Yes or no? Yes, because all the ores are made up of minerals. But not all the minerals are ores. Minerals are not ores, but whereas ores are minerals. Now we are going to study the physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. What are the physical properties and chemical properties we are going to discuss? In your grade 6, you have learnt a chapter, sorting out of materials. In that, to group a material or an object, we need certain criteria. Only based on the criteria I can classify the objects. So that criteria are nothing but the physical properties. Like the state. There are 3 states of matter: solid or liquid or gas. Hardness. Luster means whether it has a shiny appearance or not. Malleability, whether the material can be made into thin sheets. Ductile, whether they can be made into thin wires. Conductivity. Conductivity means are the materials good or bad conductors. Sonorous means sound. Melting point and boiling point. These are the properties we are going to discuss for the elements, and based on that we classify them as metals or non-metals. We have 92 elements. How did we classify that out of 90 to 70 are metals? Based on these properties only.
Now let us discuss the physical properties of metals and non-metals. As I listed out, we are going to see each and every property. First thing is state of matter. Metals are solids in nature, okay, except mercury, because we know that at room temperature mercury is in liquid state. Whereas if you see the non-metals, they exist in solids or liquids or gaseous state. Then the metals are hard in nature. This is the hardness property. Non-metals are brittle. Brittle means they are harder. They are like, they cannot be breakable. Example is the diamond. Diamond is the hardest material as far as we know now. Then the metals will have luster. Luster in the sense shiny appearance. The non-metals do not shine. Metals will have high melting and boiling points. Non-metals will have low melting points. Metals are malleable. Malleable means they can be made into thin sheets, whereas non-metals are not malleable. They cannot be made into thin sheets. Example was aluminium. Aluminium is a metal because it can be made into thin sheets, where we have the food packaging covers and all. Then the metals are ductile. Ductile means they can be made into thin wires. Example is your copper. Copper is a metal and we have the copper wire used in our electrical circuits. Non-metals are not ductile. And the metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. So what is meant by conductors? Conductors means they allow the passage of heat or electricity through them. They are good conductors. Non-metals are poor conductors. So we do not have the passage of electricity or heat through a non-metal. Okay, oxygen is a non-metal. Will it conduct electricity? No, it is a poor conductor. Air is a poor conductor of heat. Metals are sonorous. Sonorous means they produce sound. If you tap any metals, you would hear the ringing sound. The sound will be produced, whereas the non-metals are not sonorous. They do not produce any sound.
So yes, now did you get an idea how the metals are classified and based on what properties? Today we discussed only the physical properties. In the next class we can move on to the chemical properties. Okay, so now let us see some examples of metals and non-metals. Iron, aluminium, copper, gold, silver, platinum, all these are all the elements of your periodic table only, but I am calling them as metals. Why is it so? Because they satisfy the property of metals, that is they have the shiny appearance, they are all solid elements, they are malleable and they are ductile. Okay, so if you take iron, it can be made into pins, nail, nuts and bolts. These are all the uses of these metals for the human being. How are we applying them in our daily life? Copper wires are it is the ability of a material to drawn into wires is nothing but your ductility. So ductility is a property of metal. So copper is a metal. Copper wires, we use it for electricity, electric wire. Aluminium utensils, wires and for packing foods and medicines. Aluminium sheets are made. So malleability is nothing but the property of a material which can be made into thin sheets. So malleability is a property of metal. Aluminium is a metal. Gold, silver, platinum or can be made into ornaments. We use them as jewelry, coins and medals. Examples of non-metals. So these are oxygen, chlorine, nitrogen are also the elements of periodic table, but what? They are all non-metals. Why is it so? The very first physical property we saw was state of matter. All the non-metals exist in the liquid state or gaseous state. So oxygen, chlorine and nitrogen do not exist in the state of solid. So that is why I classify them as non-metals. Oxygen is a gas we use as the breathing in gas for during respiration. Chlorine is a liquid which is used to kill the germs in water. Nitrogen is present in the air as a gas. So we have the rhizobium bacteria. How does the rhizobium bacteria give the nitrogen as a nutrient to the plants? It converts the gaseous nitrogen present in the atmosphere and then it transfers to the plant as a nutrient. Nitrogen is also used in the fertilizer. In chapter 1 biology we saw that the fertilizer, the famous fertilizer was NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Fertilizer NPK. Do you remember that? Okay. So I would stop with this. In the next class we can see the chemical properties. If you have any doubt you can call me. Thank you.